Good evening. Okay, and welcome to class. I think many would actually be joining late because we're actually just me and one person in class now. But that wouldn't deter us from starting. Okay, and so good evening and welcome to another exciting time
In
on
class now. But that
IELTS.
wouldn't deter us from
Sorry.
starting.
Okay, so based on that, I would say we will just be doing a rigorous work on reviewing the work or the essays we've done in the last two classes. Yes, that is it. Okay, so the thing there is that this is what I call lecture two. Though lecture two was last week, is a continuation. So let me just say this is lecture three. We are going to do some things today. I want to concentrate because I normally let us do about two activities, but today we are going to concentrate basically on writing. We normally do vocabulary development, but we would actually skip vocabulary development today for the purpose of concentrating on writing. Yes. So I would transit to the slide now. Yes, for you to see. Okay, I call this lecture three because when we started last two lectures ago, I said we were like entering another season, but it's more like a continuation of the last 14, 15 lectures thereabout. Okay, so what we did in the last class was we've done how to decode question type. We've done the vocabulary development one. We've done writing introduction. We've done writing main body. And then we were back into this part, writing argument or yeah, your opinion. Yes, those were the things that were opinion because I want us to actually go over the work that we did the last time. Yes, and then do a review of some of the things that were wrong, some of the things that were right, and if possible, some of us I want us to contribute. And I'm going to actually rejected somebody's point of view the last time, and I'm going to review critically why I rejected the person's point of view. Yes, it's not that you cannot state what you believe in, but your argument needs to be rigorous. Okay, so so far so good. These are we wrote an introduction at a point in time, and I went through the introduction that some of us actually contributed. These are some of the introduction, and these are guidelines to writing the introduction on the left hand side. Yes. I had to go through a lot today because it seems I lost part of the lecture slide. So I had to check the video and start retyping some of them because I needed to review them. Okay, let's go back to the question. The question is, some people advocate death penalty for those who committed violent crimes. Others say that capital punishment. As a matter of fact, the person that were adopted is second side of the story last week. I actually said there was something wrong with the argument the person put forward in terms of the context of the question. Others say that capital punishment is unacceptable in contemporary society. Okay, so, okay, some people advocate. So the question says discuss both views. It means that you are going to discuss, you would need to discuss the view of those who support capital punishment and those who oppose it. Yes. So we actually wrote introduction. This was one of the introduction in modern times with increasing sophistication. Yeah, this was one of the introduction. Yeah. No, main body. I actually told the person that this does not fit an introduction. Yes. So these are some introduction that I corrected. Yes. So I want us, those who have not followed up, these are some introduction that I corrected as well. Then, and this was the introduction I wrote myself. This was the introduction. I want to put it in green so that it will. That was the reason I had to write mine. I said most of us wrote some good points, but we were not deliberate with our expressions. Yes. So those are the things. And I will go through it now. I said people are polarized on the application of capital punishment. People are divided. Polarized, better expression. At the end of the spectrum, at one end of the spectrum, that is at one end of the argument, are the protagonists. So those are the things I said most of us were not deliberate in giving out. Because when you are writing, you'll be judged on, did you complete the task? Did you use good expression? Especially those who want to score 7 and above. Yes. So you need to be, that's why we do vocabulary development every time. At the polar opposite are those who vehemently oppose this instrument of justice, insisting that it is archaic and not applicable in modern society. However, I am of the opinion that capital punishment has the merit of weeding, okay, there should be no comma, weeding out the extremely bad people in the society, but should be carefully administered to avoid the miscarriage of justice. Okay, so that was the introduction I gave, and then we went straight into the main body. Okay, so when we got to the state of the main body, this was, I think I wrote this, but I want to go through it with us. So, opposition to death penalty, why they oppose? Because some of us, somebody said mental rehabilitation, though I said I was waiting to see how the person was going to, yes, oh, sorry, we are not in opposition now, we are discussing the first view. I think maybe I missed the slide. Okay, so the first view was defend the position of those who think capital punishment is right. The proponents of administration of capital punishment on violent criminals believe that it is well deserving, as these morally repressive human often desecrate. I am justifying their position and norms of the society, and oftentimes, yes, okay, of the society, there should be some comma here. Some of us should need to the impact of their behavior leaves, okay, lifelong impression, okay, in the lives of their victims. Rape victims and families of those murdered by criminals often go to their grave with the scars of violence meted out on them. Thus, capital punishment is the right reward for such criminals as it helps deter would-be criminals and serves as justice to those who bear the brunt of their criminal activities. So I am trying to explain that it's the right reward and it's a justice to those who have been offended in certain way, because I'm trying to justify that if they are seriously affected by the crime, life changing and altering, okay, I think those who carry out the act deserve death sentence as a justice uh, for the crime and as a deterrent. So that was what I said. Countries, and I went into example, countries like Malaysia have the lowest crime rates in the world, as death penalty is a consequence of criminal activities and tendencies that are injurious to human lives. Okay, so I supported my claims with an example. You could as well do that. Okay, that's number one. So we came into now. why I am bringing back this is because I want to align with, does he actually, because yes, somebody wrote this one as yes, as introduction, then the main body too, yes. So does it align with the argument? Because I want to come to the question now. Some people advocate death penalty for those who committed violent crime. Then what did I do? I just discussed the view of those people. The second side is that some people are opposing it because they feel it is unacceptable in contemporary. That is, they have an issue with the application in modern society. Okay, let me now go to the person with adopted, okay, is right up opinion. And because I actually highlighted, this part of the person's argument because I felt, okay, this example was not relevant to what the person was discussing. Then I think the person, I hope the person is here, yes. The antagonists of capital punishment often argue that crime still thrives in the society despite the implementation of death penalty. I do not have a problem with that. The perpetrator of this crime frequently become more obstinate in their ways and resort to killing their victims because of their belief that the law would not be lenient on them. Fine. But there was a problem. What about the issue of modern times? Yes, because that was the argument from those who oppose. You need to take into factor some of the key things. Okay, so I would just like to say, okay, modern societies or modern humans, okay, are more sophisticated. I just want to sophisticated in their thinking, okay, and wouldn't or would not be deterred, okay, by death penalty, except, especially, okay, those from advanced society where, okay, human life are, are okay, where the value, I'm omitting something, the value of the sanctity of human lives, human life are entrenched in justice system and values of the society. So I'm trying to say, okay, this thing doesn't work. The modern man, especially those in advanced society, have a way of thinking, and their way of thinking is judged by what is written in their constitution and values of the society. Okay, and I have indicated that the sanctity of life is entrenched there. So the thing there is that it might not be clear enough, but I have tried to inculcate the issue that was actually discussed. That's why you cannot afford to actually neglect the keywords. Also note, what of note is the fact that this form of punishment has not completely, okay, yes, the person is citing an example in deeply religious. The issue I had was deeply religious. How was this related to the argument? There was no connection between religion and the rejection. I don't know. Okay, so if you want to cite an example, yes, it has not worked in even in some deeply religious society. Okay, maybe you need to justify why you put that. Let me help if I can help. Okay, where Yes, let me spiritual connotation, the or spiritual implication. Okay, okay. The belief is that the let me just put it the consensus. Okay, sorry, amongst different religion is that okay such people or okay people sentenced to death okay due crime would face okay or yeah afterlife yes even if you don't agree with my line of argument, afterlife punishment. I am trying to justify the reason for putting the issue of spiritual because it was not well justified. Yes, but I think it is making some sense now. You can see the issue of cause and effect. You are trying to attribute something to be responsible for something. I am saying it cause and effect. I even in the physical class, I said I'm going to take maybe a class, possibly next week, on the issue of how to allocate a factor to being responsible for this. Okay, because I have seen it as a major area of challenge. Now, for those who are watching, please, I don't want you to just watch. If you have any comment or any observation, or you think you have a query as to the regards why I am particular about the issue of the question, yeah, you can please raise it. Yes, because that's what I wanted to do tonight. I want to see sample opinion. I don't want us to just write and write and write. I want to sample opinion because most of us are even laid back when it comes to writing. This one I painted in red, which I just connected now because the presentation about religion, why it was not properly connected to the argument. That's why I say, okay, let me just write something that will at least connect. Connect is means cause and effect. Okay, also worthy of note is the fact that this form of punishment has not completely eradicated crime, even in deeply religious society of the Middle East, where capital punishment has a deep spiritual implication. Okay, and I explain what that this spiritual implication, the consensus among different religions, okay, is that people sentenced, sorry, to death due crime would face afterlife punishment. So even um, considering the implication that those people are okay by their belief system, they will face an afterlife punishment. They are not, capital punishment is not a deterrent or it has not totally eradicated. Uh, yes. Okay, so I'll be waiting if you have any issue, objection, any contribution, anything you want to possibly say, or anything that it's possibly not too clear, yes, about this writing. The reason is that today is not, I'm not going to do anything new. I just want us to go over what we have been writing, what has been wrong with some of the writing, so that as you write, you are taking cognizance. Now, while I'm expecting it, I will go back to the question because I normally say, please check that you are doing the right thing. Yes, let me see if I can, let me see if I can duplicate this side and then bring the question. Yes, I want to bring the question so that this second side will be out of the picture. The second side is still in the next page. I want to bring the question down here and see if what we've written actually has bearing directly with the question. Yes. Okay, this is the question. Some people advocate death penalty for those who committed violent crimes. Others says that capital punishment is enough. Okay, this the other side that we are focusing on. I will point it in green and then still highlight some of the words in red. The key words that you should not uh, forget to use because it will give meaning of context to what you are writing. Yes, because those who are actually trained, there is need to focus on context and there is need to focus on using good expression. The two cannot, you cannot abandon one for the other. Okay, capital punishment, unacceptable. Okay, in modern society, unacceptable, contemporary society, they are very, very key. And if you look at the argument now, somebody wrote this, I'm just making an adjustment. The antagonists, that is those who do not support, fantastic, often argue that crime still thrives in society despite the implementation. I don't have a problem with the way the person started. Fine. The perpetrator of this crime is justifying why crime still logical argument because that's the way it is supposed to be. He said the perpetrators of these crimes frequently become the person made a statement and a claim, and the person is linking the claim, yes, justifying the claim. The perpetrator of these crimes frequently become more obstinate in their ways and resort to killing their victims. Is saying this is why it doesn't work because of their belief that the law will not be lenient on them. Since they know they'll be killed, they are merciless as well. Modern humans are more sophisticated in their thinking. This was what I had because of the contemporary. And I took part of what the person said about their belief. I said, and would not be deterred by death, especially those from advanced society where the value of sanctity of life, okay, is I use values. I thought I used values. Let me use values. Is are entrenched in justice systems and the values of the society. Okay, I am citing the case of those in advanced countries why they won't be deterred by death penalty because they feel the justice system and the values of the society actually does protect them. Then the second argument still align because this person is using I've used one climb advanced society. Then, according to the writer himself, also worthy of note is the fact that this form of punishment, this person was consistent. He says, because the person was insisting that, okay, it doesn't actually eradicate. Yes, that's why the person is justifying it. I do not have a problem with that. It's only when the person didn't mention keywords of the question, unacceptable contemporary society, and they properly validate why he uses Middle East. Okay, also worthy of note is the fact that this form of punishment has not completely eradicated crime, even in the middle and far east where capital punishment has a deep spiritual implication. I am justifying now. The consensus among different religions is that people sentenced to death due crime would face afterlife punishment. This has not deterred them. Okay, so you can see how argument is being made and how argument is being uh, logically connected. I want to make some simple sentences now that will show you logic. Okay, Ade is completely blind. Ade cannot read. Okay, when you are writing cause and effect, you need to tell me, Ade is completely blind, and then Ade cannot read. Ade cannot read. because he is completely blind. Because that is the thing that is missing in most of our own arguments. You will write the sentence, you will want your marker to assume. Don't do that. Ade cannot read because he is completely blind. That's what I want to see. Okay, that is a simple sentence. Okay, let me write another one. Okay, these are three sentences possibly linked to one another. Are they, okay, now let me connect them. Are they as attempted, okay, the exam many times, but failed, okay, on all occasions, because he has never prepared. Can you see now? Because it's a connecting factor, cause and effect, due to the fact that he has never prepared. So are they as attempted the exam many times but failed on all occasions? Okay, okay, okay. I said many times, all times. Okay, because he has never prepared. I am linking because if you give me these three sentences now, yeah, don't expect your marker to connect the dot for you. Connect it, let it make sense. Are they as attempted exam many times? Okay, okay, but failed on all occasions because he has never prepared. You are linking the three statements together. So when you are writing statements that are not properly connected, not making logical arguments, it actually affects how the marker awards mark for you. Because in trying to link issues, that's when you are trying to apply some level of sophistication. You use, for those who have been part of the class before, you use elements of transitions. Is it addition? Is it comma? Ade has accepted the exam many times, but can you see contrast? For those who have done the vocabulary development one, we will still go over it again for those who are just joining. And failed on all occasion. Okay, what is this? Cause and effect. So there are transiting points of comma, there are transiting points of contrast, there are transiting points of cause and effect, or there is. So these are the things that are used to judge your level of understanding of English. So you need to transit, join words together, link situation to one another, attribute what is responsible for what. Okay, so that was why I came and said, okay, this person made a logical argument here, but did not put issues of contemporary times or what is happening, why is it not acceptable? Yes, and then when he cited the example, the person did not properly link the example to the issue at hand. He just cited the example. I wanted me to link it, not proper. Okay, so that is it on the issue of what do I call it now? On the issue, I am going through this process because I want us to, on the issue of this thing. Um, writing logical arguments, presenting your views, linking your validations properly with your discussions. Yes. Okay. So this is the essay again, though. On this side now, let me point out the last class on this side. Most of us are watching. I have been expecting feedback, but it's like maybe we understand everything. My point of view and conclusion, this is it. I said are the things you need to raise. You can give your opinion. I am writing opinion before conclusion now because some people give their opinion and they do not explain how they arrive at their opinion. So when you give your opinion, you must explain. You can't just dabble by telling us this. You must explain whether you are agreeing with the arguments you've made or you are disagreeing or you are combining them together. Give your opinion. You must explain how you arrived there or what made you opinion or what made you take the stand. Okay, you can see now. When you give your opinion, please do note of this because I'm going to go now into the case of the person that gave. I hope the person is actually in class because the last time I didn't have time to go. I'm trying to check the name of the person. Unfortunately, the person is not in class. Yes, because I can remember vividly the person that sent this the not this one. I was the one that wrote the one below, the one that I was saying was not appropriate. Despite the polarized opinion as regards the issue of capital punishment, you see now, I am acknowledging that there is a divided opinion. I am of the view that should not be abolished. So I am supporting those who say it should be applied. That's where I'm standing as a form of punishment. And I am saying, what is the thing? Why did I arrive at that judgment? As it helps reduce criminal tendencies as witnessed in countries like Malaysia, because that was even the example I gave. Okay. Okay. Now I am considering the voice of those who have said why we are against it, but should be carefully administered and used only when violent offenses have been investigated. Though this person did not include that, so I might need to readjust because if I'm giving my verdict, I need to derive it from the argument that have been presented. Yes, and only I would do that, but I want to go through it, but should be carefully administered and used when violent offenses have been well investigated without iota of doubt as to who the guilty party is. Okay, so I now consider, though this one was not argued, but it's one of the points that was raised, so we didn't argue it. If he didn't argue it, I am of the opinion that you can remove it, but if it's minor, fine, you can just leave it. In countries where it has been ineffective, I am considering what this person, the option two, is saying. Measures that suit the social cultural psychic. Can you see now? I am saying where it has not worked because I accepted that, okay, these people might have a point. So I am not drawing my opinion from the cloud. I am drawing my opinion from what has been argued before. The place I painted in green was the part that was not even discussed at all. So I can remove that, I can leave it, but the thing there is that it will serve me. The saving grace is that okay, the latter part consider the other argument, but I can remove it if I feel it's not properly linked. In countries where it has been ineffective, like the argument this person said here, advanced country, okay, and other Middle East countries, measures that suit the social cultural psyche of the people should be administered. So that is the way I pointed out. So I want to leave the green alone for a lesson. The part in green was not part of the discussion, and I said sometimes it doesn't just make logical sense if you are saying something that was not part of the discussion, if you are deriving your opinion from out of the blues, you need to pinpoint whether you are contradicting what has been discussed, then you move into your argument, or you are agreeing with us what has been discussed. Yes, when you give your opinion, you must explain how you arrive or what made you take the stand. Yes, those are the things. Once you are giving your opinion, don't just say advice and say they should do this, they should do that. No, it should be derived based on what you have argued, whether you are agreeing or you are disagreeing. Yes. So that was opinion is all about. Don't just pluck your opinion from somewhere. Yes. Now, this is what the person wrote the last time as opinion. That's why I'm coming to it now. Capital punishment should not, okay, let me accept, be the final judgment for violent crimes as everyone deserves a second chance. Okay, if you have discussed second chance, I remember vividly that one of the points raised when we were planning together was second chance. I have no opinion about that because I believe, okay, the person didn't really go in line with what I wrote. So let me assume that this was what one of the discussion the person put up. Okay, so I'm going to paint this one in green. Felons who perpetrate such crime can be compelled. Why the person derived this opinion was not clear. Where the person got the idea, you can give advice, but you need to rigorously present it from, okay, maybe you will tell me that in countries where capital punishments are not work, where people rather respond to, okay, felons who perpetrate such crime can be compelled by government to engage in certain tasks in which are unpaid and free to the community, and free work to the community. Okay, there is a problem of expression here. I have a problem here. I will see if I can adjust what the person wrote. Countries like United States and United Kingdoms, okay, the person is citing an example, are enforced to work freely, work for the community, which will be more, okay, I think maybe benefiting, okay, because maybe it's to the government by cutting costs and stimulating a sense of repentance. All these, the person derived it, and I did not, maybe a sense of repentance, I did not see it anywhere in the argument that has been presented or while we were even planning. That's why I said, no, this is out of context. You cannot derive your opinion from the cloud. You need to derive it from what has been said. Whether you are going against it, you are drawing conclusion from it, you need to do either. Don't just state your opinion uh, out of the blues. Okay, so please, if you would like to comment, most of us are not. I would like to see your comment. I would like to see uh, issues that you have and challenges that you have. Because if you don't have, the thing there is that after I have concluded now, we're going to start writing another essay, though we're going to do another thing next week, but we're still going to continue another line. You said, what is the place of using non-standard English words and phrases in our writing, e.g., protege, prima, facie, reason d'etat? These are possibly French and Latin words. I do not say you shouldn't use it, but you need to use it sparingly. You are trying to communicate in English. You can use these expressions, but you need to probably explain because the person might not. Okay, this is the question. What is the place of using non-standard English words? If you are using a non-standard English word, it means you are using it to convey a message. Possibly along the line, you will, protege is an English word. Yeah, protege is has been adopted in an English word. Raison d'etre, I don't know most of them, but I've seen this one before. But I think when you are trying to explain something that is not commonly used in English, you will still explain, but don't use too much of them. Why? You are trying to tell the examiner you understand English. You are not just communicating, you are telling the marker, I have good understanding and of English language. That is what you are writing for in IELTS. IELTS is International English Language Testing System. So they are testing your level of how to put English words and expressions together. So please focus more on English words. If you have to use some of Latin, you need to use it one, two. And most of the time, you will still need to express yourself. So stick to English. So that is my advice because nine, according to IELTS, is that you have been found to be a native, you write like or communicate or you read like a native English user. That is the judgment. So that is what the exam is all about. Yes. So if you have any question, I hope I have clarified that. I'm not saying you can't bring some lingo, but limit it and possibly explain it when it is not a common one. I know what protege is. Reason the tar I can't recollect. I've seen it somewhere. I don't know what prima facie, pari pursue. Maybe you're saying invariably. Please don't use them when they have English expression. Yes, don't use if you use them you have to explain them. That's the truth. Okay, so that is it about that. Now I want to come to the place of conclusion because I have said it, some people give opinion before conclusion and some people give opinion plus conclusion. But if you are giving opinion plus conclusion, because I'm not going to write any new thing if I'm concluding, because my opinion has dabbled into my discussion, so I can mix it up with my conclusion. Some people don't know how to do that. If you are the type of person, you need to write a separate opinion and then write a separate conclusion. Okay, there are some things that are actually missing in my conclusion or in my opinion, so I can write another conclusion, or I can say, okay, I want to mix it with my conclusion. So let me pick it and go to another uh, page now. Yes, yes, I'm picking it and going to another page because I want to see, let me see if I can write, uh, okay. So let me assume this is my opinion. Okay. So I want to write a conclusion, and this is conclusion. I will write a conclusion that stands separate from my opinion, and I will write a conclusion, okay, that is mixed with my opinion, separate, so you can have an understanding from opinion. because some of us mix everything together and we don't have a good outcome. Separate from opinion. In conclusion, okay, let me say how to write it now. You need to uh, rephrase the question. Question. Then you need to summarize your discussion. Then highlight opinion. If if need be, I will say it now. Highlight opinion. Okay. In conclusion, I'm writing now. Please, you need to use language of conclusion. In conclusion, summarily, you need to let the person know that, okay, I am done now. Okay. Okay, so I'm saying in conclusion, okay, let me use the word divided. Okay, of divided opinion about okay, implementation, or about I'm getting the right word, of capital punishment. Okay. Okay. Should be word thoughts. Yeah, it's not thoughts, thoughts. Okay. So I'm saying, okay, you need to think deeply on this divided opinion. Okay, this will feel a place in the society. Okay, okay, okay. Have the reasons. Okay, which okay uh should be acknowledged. Okay, it helps keep the society sane and peaceful. Okay, while the argument of those that believe it doesn't doesn't oh okay that it's I want to rephrase this one that believe that it has no okay believe that I believe it produces no positive influence or impact or yeah should also be taken into consideration. I'm not using some big expression, I don't need it. Okay, this is because different social and cultural okay indices okay or factors okay are responsible okay social cultural factors such as religion, legal system, and okay moral values are responsible for the effectiveness of a justice uh, system. Or I don't want to use system, but something is not just coming out to me. Okay, you can see the divided opinion about the implementation of capital punishment should be well thought out. Those who, okay, those who insist it still has a place in the society have their reason, which should have their reasons, okay, which should be acknowledged. It helps keep the society sane and peaceful, while the argument of those that believe that it produces no positive impact should also be taken in. This is because different societal and cultural factors such as religion, legal system, and moral values are responsible for the effectiveness of a justice system. If you see my conclusion now, you will discover that it captured everything that's been said in a summary format. Yes, I am saying I am standing between the two opinions, and that was what my opinion, that was what my view actually portrayed. Yes, and I'm saying why am I going into this line? Okay, the different socio-cultural factor, because one of the reasons that was mentioned as objection was the fact that, okay, social factor, cultural factor, religion plays a big role. So if it doesn't work, they should be considered, and they are. So that's why you need to consider both views. Okay, so you can see this is my conclusion. Summarize your discussion and highlight your opinion. This is where my opinion lies. This is because different social cultural factors such as religion, legal system, and moral values are responsible for the effectiveness. And all these have been mentioned one way or the other. If you look at, let me see the arguments we made. Yes, we mentioned moral values, norms of the society, and be, yeah, modern humans are sophisticated in their thinking and will not be, especially those from advanced society, while the value of sanctity of life, okay, and entrenching the justice system and values of the society. You can see that my conclusion is not plucked from even the sky. Okay, why I am saying they should, the other side should be considered is because social factor plays a key role in justice system success. So death penalty should not be one way for every society. That's what I'm saying. Those who say it should, this is the reason, and it has been discussed. It keeps the society sane and peaceful. Or maybe people get justice. Okay, yes. Okay, so that is a conclusion separate from my opinion. Okay, please, if you have an argument or a what you want to say, I want you to actually say it. It's almost 10, but we'll begin a new task. Please, and please, and please, and please, after the lecture, I would like you to send me a request for the lecture slide, because I want you to go over it. Um, I'm not rushing today. I wish last class I rushed a bit because my backup light was not functioning. I was saying, okay, what if uh, the NEPA or PHCN takes their light? I have no backup. So I will try as much as possible not to rush, because I want us to get this concept properly, and then the expression when you are writing properly. Okay, so I hope we'll be able to start another essay, but this one, I want us to take it deliberately. When we start the essay, when we start next class, we are going to start the topic again, how to write sequential presentation. You don't need to jump from point to point. When you have a point, discuss it. If you have the second point, link it together. Okay, so that is a conclusion separate from my opinion. Okay, now, okay, someone is sending something. Okay, please, I will send you the YouTube link. I hope, let me see if I can copy it right here. But the thing you need to do is that when you get the YouTube link, do me a favor, because actually now on Thursday classes is always live on YouTube. But even when lecture is not live, because sometimes it can't go live, what I want you to do is when you get the link, I'm sending it now, please and please click the subscribe button red. The subscribe button will alert you when a new lecture is uploaded. I have sent it now. Yes, somebody requested for the YouTube link. The subscribe button, if you click it red on the bottom right, once you click it, it will, anytime there is a lecture live or there is a lecture uploaded, it will alert you instantly. So you don't need to be getting it from me every time. What I was saying was that you can request for the lecture slide and be able to go through, and then maybe with the video you will be able to now see how these things are written sequentially. Okay, now I want to go into because you could actually do both conclusion mixed with opinion, and I want to conclusion mixed with opinion. It is this the same method, but it will be more elaborate. That is, this one was, this conclusion was very summary, very, because I don't want to just repeat myself. So you need to have, you have to pick the one that is a bit convenient for you. Very summary. Your, if you have stated your opinion, your conclusion can actually be very summary. Yes. Okay, but if you are not stated your opinion and you want it to be part of the conclusion, don't let your conclusion be summary. Yes. Okay, so in this place, I will give the guideline. I picked my voice from the last one because I want to mix my voice with my conclusion. So I will, I will actually do this now. I'll put this on the side when I come to it because I want to give a guideline so that we will be able to understand. From next week, when we are doing the thing, please be prepared to write more than me. Yes, because if I keep writing, it will look simple. If you write, some people say, I just write, then I make it look as if it's a piece of meal. You need to start doing that. And you need to read, just broad, just read for experience and idea. Okay, okay, then refresh the question again. If it is conclusion mixed with the question statement, okay, summarize your discussion, then, okay, discuss, yes, don't just highlight, discuss your opinion, yes, that's it. You don't just present your opinion if it has not been deducted. So I want to write the opinion here. So I want to mix it with this one. Okay, what is the issue? In conclusion, so so I am mixing this one. I'm saying, okay, in conclusion, I said, despite the polarized opinion as, okay, so I want to remove my discussion, my view first. Okay, the issue of capital punishment with some for it. Okay, because they believe, okay, it serves justice and deter Okay, criminals. Okay, while others oppose. Okay, uh, due to what? Due to the factor that they deem it inappropriate in, okay, modern societies. Okay, okay, maybe okay, human rights charter. Okay, I didn't mention this before, but it's still in line, forbids the taking killing of other human. Okay, in any, I'm still going to review his circumstance. Was that part of what I discussed? I think it is, because have said that it is part of some law to protect some people's life. Let me go there. So, because I said modern human are most of and will not be deterred, especially those from advanced society where the value of sanctity of human life are entrenched in the justice system. You can see I have actually mentioned it one way or the other, but okay, human rights charter forbids killing other humans under any circumstances. Okay, under any circumstances. You can see that, okay, I've said the other any circumstance. You can see that I have, what did I do? I have rephrased the question and I have summarized my discussion. That's what happened in this statement. Look at what's the question. In conclusion, despite the polarized opinion as regards the issue of capital punishment, with some for it, okay, comma, because they believe it serves justice, okay, and deter criminals, while others oppose due to the fact that they deem it inappropriate in modern society. And why? I'm explaining why they deem it. I use an hyphen to transit. When I was teaching transition, these are the things I taught. I'm still going to go over them again. Human Rights Charter forbids killing other human under any circumstance. Okay, can you see now? Then I am introducing my I am. Now, because of the fact that my change, I am. However, okay, of the view that it should not be abolished. Yes, as a form of punishment, as it helps reduce criminal tendencies as witnessed. Okay, I want to use it. Okay, in some countries, okay, some region, as witnessed in Asian countries like Malaysia, but should be carefully administered and used only when violent offenses have been said. Okay, this was not discussed. So I'm leaving it for your knowledge, because to be very candid, I want to remove it because it was not discussed at any point in time. So in countries where it has been ineffective or where capital punishment has been ineffective, okay, sorry, I have used it 2 times. So I want to refer to it again. Has been ineffective, measures that suit the social cultural psyche of the people should be administered. Okay, you can see now that my conclusion and my view mixed. Yes, it's long, but I need to do that. Okay, so that is it about today. I did majority of the talking because I wanted to go over everything we've done from introduction, from main body, from conclusion. So I don't think, if you look at the lecture, for those who have actually participated, you need, maybe I should arrange the ones, the introduction that uh we accepted, the what do I say now, the main body we accepted, and then yes, so I will do that now. I accepted other introduction too, but I said most of us did not pay attention to good expression. That's why I said, I yes, though there could be some minor mistakes because online I do not read intensively, maybe to go through them, but they will still serve a purpose. I will find time to see if I can edit and put it properly. Okay, this was the introduction. I said I will put up, yes, I'm doing this so that when you want to review it, you will see, yes, and I think this was the second discussion that we accepted. I'm looking for, okay, I think this was the first paragraph. I want to see if we even transited well from one paragraph to other. Okay. Okay, this was the the first paragraph that was accepted. Yes. So this is the introduction. Let me write it. Introduction. Because if you want to go over it so that you will see what are the methods, as much as, okay, they contain the basic ingredient of attending to the issue at hand, having good expressions because we took time to analyze them. Yes, then the second one, which somebody actually contributed, that was my joy about it. Yes, I just made some little adjustments to it. Okay, so this is body two. So if you want to go over it, and it's not just if you want, I want you to go over it, because as our next class, I want us to start writing well. Yes, both the introduction, go through what I said, how to write introduction, how to write main body, and yes, and go through the video. This is, okay, body one, okay, body body two. So I'm going to bring the two conclusion, opinion and conclusion separate, opinion and uh, conclusion together. Because if they ask you to do something, you need to fulfill the task. Discuss both view and give your opinion. You must do that task. So this is opinion separate from conclusion. I'm doing this because so that it can have an orderly fashion when you are trying to do it. And then let me bring back the conclusion. Yes, this is the conclusion. Okay, let me put it in another page. Okay. Please, before next class, take time to go over this particular essay so that it will give you an insight how to properly structure an essay, how to adhere to good expression and read journals. Okay, then this is conclusion, separate from opinion. Okay. Then the last one, conclusion mixed with opinion. Okay, so that's it. Um, okay, so this is the essay now. This is the essay. Okay, so that is it. If you have any question, I wanted us to start something new, but I think it will be tiresome. This is the question we will be treating next week. You can start preparing. Some people feel that entertainers such as film star, pop stars, pop musicians, or sports stars are paid too much. Do you agree or disagree? Yes, we're going to start this question next week, and we're going to start uh, uh, from the basic issue again, decoding your question, sentence structure. We are going to use that question to write a sample. So be ready to practically be part of the class. So if you have any question whatsoever before we conclude, because we've actually closed for today, because I can't start another task now. So these are the lectures so far. For the last 3 lectures, these are the things that we have actually done. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay. Okay, this is the question. Sean, I think you are in physical class. Well, I think I've presented this question. Okay, sorry. I think I presented it. It was presented on weekend class. Some people feel that entertainers such as films stars and pop musicians or sports stars are paid too much. Do you agree or disagree? Okay, that will be the question we'll be focusing on, but we will dissect them using all the principles or the curriculum that guides how to write. To write. Next, this is the question. So if you want to write it down, you can as well do that. Okay, so since we have come to the end of the class and there is no further question, and as the people in the formal sector will say, no further deliberation, okay, I will say the lecture has been adjourned till Tuesday next week when we round off the listening class. Listening class will be round off this season for on Tuesday, and then we will start reading. I will need to, for those who are having challenges reading, please and please, from upper Tuesday, you need to be in class. Okay, so good night, everyone, and thanks for being part of the class tonight. So wish you a good night rest. So bye bye.